way we wanted it to. Whenever you lose as many games as we have and finish the way we did, as you look back on the entire season, we had our moments. We've seen improvement on a lot of young football players, but it's about the wins and the losses, those columns, and we don't have enough wins in that column. Today, just talking about today's game, we knew we were playing a good team, in Northwestern, rivalry game. We wanted to get off to a fast start. Felt like we did that. Had momentum early. But eventually you have to be, if you're a good football team, you have to be able to maintain it. And we weren't able to do that. Besides early on we had a little bit going. But offensively, we couldn't really get much after that. Defensively, we made a couple plays, kept us in there, kept hanging in there. Guys like Bennett Williams have had, some of the young players have had really outstanding seasons for freshmen, I should say. Can't wait to get guys like that in the all-season program and get ready to do it again. But in the end, not enough. Special teams, Blake Hayes. Talk a lot about him. He had an outstanding year, I felt like. Just right up until today. I punted too much during the season, but he did what he was supposed to do. Take a question.
Coach, have you been through a season like this as a coach before? And if you have, what kind of aspects of the program do you kind of review in the off season just to figure out if you're moving in the right direction?
Well, I don't think you have to wait to the end to see that you're moving in the right direction. We talk about the young players we play, improvement we've seen. You have to look to the future and what you have coming back. Have I been in this situation before? Yeah, I have, a few times. That's why we can't wait to build on what happened this year.
Looking ahead, Coach, what's the first thing you have to do? What's the first thing on your list going forward?
First off, we have to clean up this season. I'm talking about putting an end to it. And I'm talking about exit interviews. We have a team meeting. Our last team meeting will be Monday. And then just get the guys off on the right track. Becoming a full-time student now and finishing up the right way academically. Then it's on to recruiting, of course, Bob. Early signing period is pretty important to our program. We've been doing pretty good recruiting-wise. We need to be able to finish that up the right way. And after that, it'll be on to the off-season, getting bigger, stronger, faster, and going from there.
Offensively, what do you feel like maybe changed for you after that first drive when you were able to move the ball?
I think eventually, a lot of what happened early on was our quarterback running the football. Eventually, you take that away. You got to be able to still block them up front. Starts up there. Couldn't really get much going with the passing game. Can't just pinpoint one thing. It was all above, really.
You mentioned on the radio Dre Brown today. Talk about what he did for you.
I gave us a spark, of course, with the returns. Just taking advantage of opportunities, whether it was at the running back position or returning kicks. We've seen glimpses of him. Dre has been injured quite a bit. So to finish up this way going into the offseason is encouraging.
Lovie, what's most important? I mean, if you looked at this as year one with your first recruiting class, how is this offseason different for your staff?
Some of the same things we're doing. We're building still. We added some good. Last year, this time, we're disappointed in how we finished up, and we talked about we got to get a good recruiting class in here. Well, we did. Now it's about backing that up with another, and just keep building that way. So it's critical that we do that. We'll attack it right away.
Who are some of those building blocks, personnel-wise, and what are some of the holes you still want to fill?
I think right now, all the players, the young players we play. How many true freshmen have we started? Help me out. 16. So those are building blocks, all of them, and some other young players too. As far as the holes we have, it's all above. We still want to add good football players at every position, just not one in particular that we're going to concentrate on.
Coach, did your offense ever reach its potential?
It's hard to say. We never became a good offense this year. As far as the potential and where we should have been, I don't know. Defensively, special teams. I'm going to say that in all areas. You know, whenever you don't achieve your goal, you have to say that no one played as well as we hoped we would, we thought we would, and we need to play.
Do you second guess any points as far as schemes, the big picture kind of stuff?
You mean hindsight? What is it? What good is it? I'm not a hindsight guy. When you make decisions you think are best at that moment. Everybody would like to have things back. No, most people would. Not me. We're not going down that road. We just need to, do a better job as we go forward.
Lovie, from afar, and based on scores and record, it'd be hard to see this program as being close to a different, different look, a different outlook, a different level. Do you see things that aren't easy to see from the outside that encourage you to think maybe it's closer than it can seem based on record and scores?
Closer to what?
Closer to just taking a jump of significance that you would be used to.
You just have to look at what we're talking about. 15, 16 young players. Are you expecting a national championship? No, probably not. So where we are, we knew we had to rebuild our program, and that's what we've been doing, and that's what I think we've done. We'll continue to do that. So I think if you're on the inside, I think you'll see that. Talk about the young players that are playing right now. Talk about the close games that we've been in, and I think you can see the reason why there's a lot of optimism going forward.
I walked in after you started, so excuse me if you already said anything about this, but were you disappointed with the way the fourth quarter devolved a little bit with personal foul calls and ejection?
Absolutely.
And there was a hit by Northwestern, too, that was well out of bounds.
Can't say anything about Northwestern. I was disappointed in how we finished up. Absolutely. I think when you're upset at something, you take care of that in between the whistles. So whenever we're getting personal, that's not who we're about. And you don't want to finish it that way. So all of the guys that were part of that, no, that's not the Illinois way by any means. But as we build our program, we need to be in a situation like this. They're all learning situations. This was a learning situation.
When did you know Cam was going to be able to play? Because I know he had to be cleared.
He was cleared right away. It was close last week.
Okay.
So he took all the reps this week to be ready to play. So we know all along, and Jeff George was available in the backup role too. So it's the best position we've been in quarterback-wise in a while.
I know your personality, so I might not answer this question, but how tough has this year been for you personally?
I think it would be tough for any coach that when you lose. So I'm no different than anybody else. I feel the same way the players in there, coaches, all of us put a lot into it. You want to see better results. But this is where we are. Hard work doesn't guarantee success or a certain amount of wins or anything like that. But you can't have success unless you put hard work into it. We need to put more work. Work harder, smarter, to get a better result. And I feel like we eventually will have results that we can live with.
A lot as freshmen. What's the biggest thing that they need to do over the offseason to prepare them for sophomore?
I think whenever you talk all players, but in particular our linemen, I'm going to go to the defensive linemen also. They need to get stronger as much as anything. They haven't gone through an off season with it. They learn a lot. They've been put into the fire, I guess you can say a little bit, getting experience. But now, build up our bodies. These are young players, that are competing against older ones. We have an excellent strength and conditioning program. Joey Bose would do a good job with those players, but that's the next step for a lot of them.
But you got Cam coming back next year and Jeff George and a couple of recruits coming in. Are you satisfied with where you're at with the quarterback position, or do you want to do more or add more bodies to that?
Well, we have a recruiting class coming in, and we have commitments. But, that's like those are engagements. Wedding hadn't happened yet, so we need to finish that up and see how this class goes. But we need to improve that position, and we feel like we would. The response recruiting-wise has been good. I think people kind of see where we are and how they can come in and have another, have a big impact similar to this class, the type of impact it had.
I know you like to watch ball. Transition to enjoying watching college football the rest of the season. You need a little break.
What we're gonna do is start sprinting to recruiting right away. Some of the teams playing in bowl games, people can see them that way. For us, behind the scenes, we have to, this is the time we need to gain some ground. And that's what we're gonna start doing immediately.
You talk about all these commitments. What are the steps that you need to take to lock these down?
Just continuing on. Are you married? When you do get married, a lot of, seem like from the age a little bit, I should say, in the room, a few of us maybe are. And once you do get engaged, you have to still not stop, still put time into showing them why you love them as much as anything and why we should be together for a long period of time. That's what we're going to do. We have a great product that we're recruiting to, and there's a reason why people have chosen to make that commitment with us. But it's just not those commitments. We have others to feel too, and that's what we're going to do. But yourself, I got to go into the recruiting field right now. A lot. The University of Illinois, that's
Coach, fans are asking about the staff, obviously, and there'll be any changes in the offseason. You got the 10th guy coming up. How soon can you make that announcement on who it is and what's kind of
as
the
soon as I can, I will. And, you know, this is what you do, player and coach-wise. You go through a season. And after the season, you evaluate exactly where you are. That's the way I've done it every year I've been in sports. That's what I'm going to do now. We can add a 10th receiver, a 10th coach. As soon as we can add that 10th coach, we'll be at it. Then I'll make the announcement once I have it. A few hours right now, we're still kind of digesting everything that's happened. Less than an hour.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.